In a peaceful monastery surrounded by whispering bamboo forests and the distant hum of waterfalls lived a young monk named Kaito. He was disciplined, sincere, and deeply curious about the mind. But despite his years of meditation and training, he often found himself caught in waves of doubt, fear, and inner conflict. One morning, overwhelmed by self-doubt, he approached the wise elder of the monastery, Master Hoshin, who had long been revered for his calm presence and boundless wisdom. "Master," Kaito said softly, "I wake up each day feeling uncertain, as if my spirit is restless before the world even touches me. I do not feel grounded." Master Hoshin simply smiled and said, "You are listening to the wrong voice. Most people wake up to the noise of the world, but the wise ones first listen to the voice within. Come, I will teach you the 5 lines to speak to yourself each morning. These are not just words. They are seeds that, when planted daily, bloom into unshakable peace. Line 1. I am grateful to be alive." The next morning, Master Hoshin woke Kaito before sunrise. They sat by a lotus pond, still and shimmering under the pale morning sky. Before anything else, say to yourself, "I am grateful to be alive." Kaito repeated the line. Master Hoshin explained, "Gratitude is the soil from which joy grows. The fact that you are breathing, sitting here, witnessing this new dawn, it is already a miracle." Most forget this simple truth. They chase meaning in far-off places, forgetting that life itself is the rarest treasure. They watched as the lotus flower began to open with the rising sun. "Even the lotus must rise through the mud to bloom," the master whispered. "And yet, it does so with grace." Morning practice. As soon as you open your eyes, say this line with presence. Feel it, breathe it. Let your first thought be one of wonder. Line 2. I am capable of handling whatever comes today. Later that day, they ventured into the village, where chaos often lived, in traffic, disagreements, and noise. "Kaito," said the master, "life will never stop presenting storms, but the mind must become the mountain, not the leaf in the wind." He had Kaito recite the second line, I am capable of handling whatever comes today. They witnessed a merchant being insulted by an angry customer. Yet the merchant smiled, nodded, and responded kindly. Kaito was surprised. Why did he not react with anger? "Because he knows who he is," said the master. "When you trust your ability to stay calm and respond wisely, no one can shake you." This line builds inner strength. It reminds you of the warrior within the monk, not a fighter of people, but a master of reactions. Morning practice. Stand tall, breathe deep, and declare this truth. You are not a victim of the day. You are its sculptor. Line 3. I am at peace with my past. One evening, as they walked by the forest, Kaito confessed something. There are things I regret, choices I wish I hadn't made. Sometimes I feel haunted by them. Master Hoshin placed a hand on his shoulder and said, Then it is time to let them go. The third line he taught was, I am at peace with my past. Your past is a painting. You cannot erase the brushstrokes, but you can choose how you look at it, from bitterness or from compassion. They lit a lantern and released it into the night sky. Forgiveness of others and yourself is the fire that sets the soul free. Morning practice. As you repeat this line, imagine yourself releasing heavy stones from your backpack. Feel the lightness of being unburdened. Line 4. I choose to respond with kindness. Days passed, and one morning, Kaito found himself irritated. A fellow monk had taken his place in the meditation hall without asking. He grumbled and fumed, but remembered Master Hoshin's fourth line. I choose to respond with kindness. Later, he approached the monk and said kindly, I think there was a mix-up this morning. No worries, let's sit together tomorrow. The other monk bowed in gratitude. A conflict had been avoided, and a bond formed. Master Hoshin smiled when he heard the story. Kindness is not weakness, Kaito. It is courage in disguise. To meet the world with gentleness, even when it is harsh, that is true strength. Morning practice. Set this intention before stepping into the world. Kindness is your superpower. Use it generously. Line 5. I am enough. One night, a storm rolled through the mountains. Thunder roared, wind howled. Kaito found himself staring into the rain, feeling small. Sometimes, he said, I feel like I'm not doing enough, not being enough. Master Hoshin gave him the final line. I am enough. The tree does not wish to be the sky. The moon does not envy the stars. And you, Kaito, do not need to prove your worth to the world. You are already whole, just as you are. They sat together in silence, listening to the rain. This line was not about arrogance. It was about peace, self-acceptance, stillness, wholeness. Morning practice. Put your hand on your heart and say it. I am enough. Let it echo deep within your spirit. The transformation weeks passed. Kaito began each morning with these 5 lines. At first, they felt like words, but slowly, something began to shift. He walked with more presence, spoke with more calm, meditated with deeper stillness, and smiled, not because life was perfect, but because he was at peace with it. One day, another young monk came to him with the same struggle. I feel lost, unsure of myself. How can I become stronger in my mind? Kaito smiled, just as Master Hoshin had. Come, he said. I'll teach you 5 lines to speak to yourself each morning. Not just words, seeds of strength. Conclusion. The inner sunrise. These 5 lines are not a script. They are a spiritual foundation, a quiet ceremony with yourself before you meet the world. If you speak them with honesty and presence each morning, you will plant peace in your mind, strength in your spirit, and joy in your heart. Speak to yourself as someone you deeply love. That is the beginning of transformation. You do not become wise by adding more. You become wise by subtracting fear, doubt, and illusion, until only truth remains.